Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Car Reviews podcast on CollectorCarCanada.CA. Today we have a 2014 Dodge Challenger RT with the SHAKER hood, SHAKER edition, and it's been put through a drop-top customs conversion. As you see, this is a convertible, and it's been built by Drop Top Customs in Florida. There are a couple who offer it on the Challenger. This one's known to be the better of the two that I know of. There's another one in California. You'll see as we get closer that this conversion includes glass in what I'll call the quarter windows. So there are power glass windows here. I'll say the rear side windows, whereas Newport Customs in California closes the whole roof here, so you don't get glass. You can't see out as well when the top is closed. So you get a good look at the car with that glass in place in our photos. We're not going to shoot any video now with the top up. There's also a video demonstrating the top up and down on our detailed listing. So this one is lot 209 on CollectorCarCanada.CA. It's a 2014 Dodge Challenger RT SHAKER edition. So RT is the 5.7 liter V8 engine. It's got was factory rated at 375 horsepower and factory rated at 375. I'm sorry, I misspoke. The torque is actually higher than 400 pound-feet. Check our detailed listing to get the precise number, please. I was just a bit confused because the SRT, the 2011 SRT we also shot today, has the same number for horsepower and torque, 470. So this RT is 375 horsepower factory rating and over 400 pound-feet of torque. So I'm going to fire it up now. Looks like we have company. I hope you enjoy the look of this black GMC Sierra. There he goes. So I'm going to fire this one up. I'll let you know the mileage. I know it's under 29,000 kilometers. I don't remember precisely. I'm going to read it off when I get it started up. I'll let you know the mileage. I know it's under 29,000 kilometers. I don't remember precisely. I'm going to read it off when I get it started up. So here we go at the start. So it's actually under 28,000 kilometers, 27607. I'll come grab the camera and we'll get a closer look under the hood. So a pretty simple hood release on this 2014 RT Challenger. I've already released the one in the cabin of the car, and you actually want to grab downward, so I've got my palm down and that releases like so. And there we go. So there's a good look at that SHAKER hood. As is the 70s Challenger definition of a SHAKER hood, it's open. So we've got the intake right here. So I think I mentioned already, 375 horsepower is the factory rating on this 2014 Challenger RT. Over 400 pound-feet of torque. For the precise number, please check our detailed listing. So one thing I noticed right away, having been around lots of Challengers, but not after they've been converted to convertibles. A rare bird, certainly. So we see the branding by Drop Top Customs, but the interesting thing for me, well, it's neat to see the name of the conversion company, but that's an extra stabilizer bar from the top of the shock tower to the cowl on each side. So having driven Fox body Mustang convertibles, I'm familiar with body flex on a convertible, and certainly those stabilizer bars are going to address that. So that's a good look at under hood. Big air cleaner right there, feeding into here. Brake booster, and there's a terminal for the positive, an outlet, an end point for the positive terminal for the battery, which is in the trunk. We'll see it when we get there. Here's a look at the valve covers for the big V8, 5.7 liter. So I'll leave it running for a minute because we get to see the light show here. equipped with the fog lights. It's a bit of a fallacy that all 4 of these lights are headlights. In fact, when you turn on the brights, the outside ones switch to a bright mode. The 2 on the inside, as kind of hinted at with the amber coloring, those are indicator lights. Maybe for fun, I'll show them. I'll demonstrate those. But I'll go to the rear lights first. As you see, I just turned on the indicator. But I really like that light lens going all the way across on this 2014 Challenger. Dodge people will know that the second generation of what I'll call the modern Challenger went to the lens all the way across. I think that was in 2011, but don't quote me on that, please. We're here to talk about a Challenger today, not a Charger. So we'll go back up front to see that amber light flashing on the inner lens of the 4-circle setup on either side of the grille. But that should do us. Oh, I guess I'll get a sound of the exhaust when it's idling. It's got a nice real rumble when it's running. Stock exhaust on this 14 Challenger RT. Another look at that lens all the way across. I suppose I don't need that indicator anymore. Might be more fun to look at that tail light lens going all the way across without the indicator. Reverse lights in the center here with that Dodge logo superimposed, and a sound at the pipe on the right side. So Vanishing Point, it's got the Dodge stripes there on the right. Vanishing Point is a movie from the 70s, I believe 1971, where there was an early day Challenger featured in the movie. So that's the meaning of that sticker. So I think we can kill the engine now, and we'll have a good look around the exterior of the car. One thing I'll point out while I'm thinking of it, you can see that convertible top is exposed the way it is now. There is I'll say a convertible top boot for the car. It goes in with Velcro, so it's nice and easy, user-friendly. There are a few still photos on our detailed listing with it in place, although just resting. We didn't fit it into place. As you see, we're starting to run out of daylight, so that's the reason why. So those front lights are just on a delay before they go off. A neat grille there with the Challenger logo over here, and a aggressive looking front air dam or splitter right below those fog lights. A little more air intake with this lower grille below the license plate. And Challenger people will notice the I'll call it a stripe kit, the black stripe on this car. The shaker hood, the part that's fixed into place, is black, and there's some black striping around it on the hood, but it's a lot more pronounced here on the rear. We're showing off the Hemi. Of course, this 5.7 liter engine is a Hemi, and the Shaker logo down below, and then black all the way around the wheel well here on the rear with a black spoiler. That's the stock look, and then of course a black stripe here going out the rear. Keen Challenger followers will note the third brake light here integrated into the spoiler, and that would have been done by Drop Top Customs. There's a look at their logo, the converter for this car from a coupe to a convertible. So this car's third brake light would have been in the fixed glass from the original coupe, so without one, to pass Transport Canada regulations, it needed a third brake light, and they've built that into the spoiler here on the rear. So another couple of things I notice on this car, it's got the stock RT wheels. They're skinned in a set of Goodyear Eagle F1 tires. They're 245 45 20 in the front, 255 45 20 in the rear. So a bit of a stagger, but not very extreme at all. And then this fuel cap is a nod to the original Challengers, which were released from the 1970 model year. and it's functional. Looks a little more modern inside, I suppose. So yeah, the fuel cap, the nod to the earlier Challenger. Another thing that's quite noticeable for me here is these reverse or backup sensors. So a good safety item here on this Hemi Challenger RT. And they're the ones on the other side above the vanishing point logo that I already described. Another neat thing on these factory wheels, it's just a decal, and if the new owner doesn't like them, they're pretty easily removed. But just for the real Mopar heads, like the owner of this car is, he's got a Mopar decal on each of the 4 wheels, and it's got the black background which matches with the rest of the wheel. So there's just the red Mopar logo. Hemi badge up here on the fender, which is quite smart as well. So by now those courtesy lights have gone off and the car looks like it's safely parked. So now we'll take a look at the inside of the car. So I'm not sure if I mentioned the transmission. This one's a 6-speed. So here's a good look at the shift pattern. The reverse is in the top right, which is kind of Chrysler unique. So yeah, it's got the 5.7 liter V8 with a 6-speed manual transmission, getting all that power, 375 horsepower, to the rear wheels only. So a good look at the interior. So we got a white on black car today. I'm going to put the ignition to the on position without starting it. Then we can see a little bit of the accessories in action. So this is the Chrysler Uconnect infotainment system. AM/FM CD with an auxiliary input, hard disk drive. There's a power outlet here. There's another power outlet inside this storage bin in the console, but there are personal items in there, so I don't want to get into that. There are the lights controls. It's got an auto feature for the lights. I think that's what the owner prefers. We'll leave it at that. Trunk release, hood release is down below. And this is interesting. The light's not going to be great, but there are no labels on there, probably indicative of it being aftermarket. So this button here is for the top, and these buttons here are for those quarter windows I was talking about. So on the coupe, when it came out of the factory in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, this car had fixed windows on the rear side. So those quarter windows were fixed in place, not controllable up and down. But with the convertible, of course, you don't want those fixed windows in place. So Drop Top Customs went ahead and installed controllable windows, whereas Newport, the converter in California, just covers up that area with the fabric roof. So a little bit of a look at the instrumentation. I think I'm seeing 260 for a top out on the speedometer, and a fuel gauge on the right. 7,000 RPM tach with a red line, looks like about is that 5,500? I'm not wearing my glasses, I don't see it that well. We'll have to superimpose the proper number onto the video. And then a water temperature gauge. As you see, there's that blue digital display below the speedo. All 4 of these round gauges have black at the bottom, so there are opportunities for some digital readouts there, and warning lights. So AC, we tested the AC. It was blowing nice and cold. Neat thing about the seats, just to show off the SHAKER package, both seats have embroidered SHAKER logos. So I'm sitting in the driver's seat. The same thing appears there. You'll see it in our photo gallery on the detailed listing as well. And I like this SHAKER badge over here above the glove box as well. Another neat appointment. Showed you the infotainment. I'll hop out and give you a look at the rear seats. So I would suggest that the closest competition for this car, from GM certainly the Camaro, and from Ford the Mustang, it's a bigger car overall, this Challenger is, but a nice thing about that is you get a little bit more space for rear passengers. So get that seat belt out of the way. So there's a good look at the rear seat. So both front seats are sort of pushed up all the way, but yeah, there is a bit of space for the rear seat occupants, and they get treated to an armrest with cup holders if there's no front or middle occupant. There are 3 belts here in the rear. Mat pockets or storage pockets on the seat backs, and there's that SHAKER logo on the driver's seat. So another good look at it. Oh, this is a neat appointment too. These Challenger, aluminum Challenger labeled door sills. Mat pockets on both front doors. Both doors, they're only front doors in this car, of course. There's another look at that stripe kit. So that's a good look at our 2014 Dodge Challenger RT SHAKER edition. It's Collector Car Canada lot 209. Again, this is I think I said SHAKER edition, but I did not see it say RT. So 2014 Dodge Challenger RT. RT comes with a 5.7 liter Hemi V8, good for a factory rating of 375 horsepower, over 400 pound-feet of torque. The precise torque rating is on our detailed listing. So this one is lot 209 on Collector Car Canada. So that concludes our look at this beautiful car. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Happy bidding.